Being able to pass what you know on to the next generation has been important. And a lot of it's a generational teams, like our family. You know, you're looking at 4 and 5 generation families.
And he truly loved the land and loved the wildlife and just really spent his life out here.
And he always said this, that he was a temporary steward of the land, and temporary in the fact that, you know, none of us live forever.
Kelly Flynn was diagnosed in 2017 with stage 4 kidney cancer. We lost Kelly in early March, and now it's our duty to carry on the legacy that Kelly's left behind.
Well, I'm Jill Flynn, and I am one of the owners of Hidden Hollow Hideaway Cattle and Guest Ranch here in Broadwater County, outside of Townsend, Montana. And we run a summer guest operation and a hunting operation, as well as a cattle ranch. Well, Kelly Flynn was one of those kind of larger-than-life personalities, as anyone that knew him would tell. And in terms of developing this ranch, he had a dream for what he wanted it to look like, and he wrote that dream down before he even started building anything up here, and just worked hard to accomplish that. And part of that dream was to have a place where people could experience nature and experience the beauty of Montana and experience ranch and farm life, and that was really important to him.
My title here is Land Stewardship Specialist. We run about 140 pairs, give or take, in a year, and that's cow-calf pairs. And we rotate pastures frequently. A lot of people think that's just because we have guests, and so we give them something to do and move cows. But in reality, it's really actually good for the ground, so we're not overgrazing one spot for too long.
About 15 years ago, the pine beetle kind of swept through our property as well as some of the surrounding property and wiped out the ponderosa pine and a lot of the lodgepole pine, and just was devastating.
And so a lot of areas on the ranch, we just started piece by piece, and we have a great logging crew that works for us and do an outstanding job recovering the land after they log out the beetle-killed trees. And one of Kelly's great efforts was, after clearing that, then to burn all the slash that was left and get the land back to flat surfaces, and then reseed a lot of it by hand. And so that's something that we would go out and do together, and the girls would go out and just cruise around, throwing seed out onto the ground.
And in that seeding, we may put in various different types of grasses, as well as legumes and nitrogen-fixing plants that provide better habitat for wildlife as well as livestock.
My dad made the decision that we're going to try to clean it up to make the land better than what it would be if we just left it. And so that has been a tremendous effort to stack the debris and then to reseed those areas with native grasses or mixes of grasses, and then a long effort after that to knock back the weeds when something is disturbed.
That just allows a lot more grass to grow. And that's done a lot of things for the wildlife population and for our cows. So we've been able to grow the cow herd size a little bit over the last 15 years because we have more grass within the range for them. And one of the goals was to get the mule deer population to increase. It has decreased drastically since the 1980s.
And the areas where they first did that actually are grassy now, and we see wildlife coming back into them. And so it has been a great success made out of a pretty difficult situation.
This year alone, I've seen more mule deer than I have in the last 3 summers. And so I know the things that he has done over the years have made a difference. And I wish that he was here to see it.
Winning this award would have meant the world to him. You know, there came a point where he would just come out and ride when we were moving cows. You get to the top and you're frustrated that the cows are so high up there chasing the best grass and the coolest shade, and you turn around and you look back over the valley and you can see the whole ranch. Essentially, you can see the whole ranch, and sitting next to him on a horse and just feeling that pride that this is what we're taking care of. This is what we're working for. You know, ranching is not an easy life. It's 24/7, 365. It's hard to get a vacation. And days like that are where it feels worth it. When things were hard for him, he kept going. He didn't let it get him down. He didn't let it stop him from trying to be excellent in everything he was doing. And so I feel a lot of strength from that, from having observed how fierce he was over the course of that fight to be able to be with us for a longer period of time.
Kelly Flynn was probably the hardest working man I've ever known. He spent his whole life trying to make this ranch a better place, and through conservation and land stewardship.
So to have to fill the shoes of somebody that knows the land that well and is that in touch with the land, it's a pretty overwhelming feeling.
Ultimately, it's what he accomplished has been such a blessing. I feel like what the girls learned growing up about respecting the land and respecting wildlife and our responsibility as people to care for that, and a ranch not being just a living or a place to make money, but a lifestyle, and the idea that we want to spread that to other people, that it doesn't just belong to us.
Yeah, it's actually called a walking Y. That was my grandfather's brand, so that's I've kept that brand over the time.